What I did was, I lived at home while I made $12 a story. Now, not everybody can do that because you really have to go to the city where you can find a place to live. But you may have to hook up with a couple of roommates and live kind of the way you did in college and eat the way you did in college, and
plenty of ramen.
Absolutely, absolutely. But those sacrifices are so well worth it. Because the only way you're going to know if you have the talent and the passion to do it is to try it on some level. And as soon as you try it on some level and you succeed, if you're the play-by-play guy that you want to be and you succeed, you're going to say, oh my gosh, I can eat tuna fish for 3 years if I need to.
Yeah.
And that's really what it's all about. But it's not easy. It's not. And you can be discouraged. And the comments from Scott about the dangers, it isn't easy. It's not going to be easy. But the rewards are certainly worth it, I think.
I have a question for you too that I just thought of that a lot of my colleagues and I have been throwing back and forth. What do you think about having to move somewhere random or remote that you don't really want to be in for a job, or kind of placing yourself where you want to be and searching for work that you can get? In other words, sacrificing a place to live, because to me where I'm living is important. I want to be in a community that I feel has vitality and that I have access to different people and different resources and things like that. And so that's important to me. But I know sometimes you have to sacrifice that.
You do. It's kind of scary it's scary to go off to college to a place you've never been before. It's scary to get your first job. I think that you should be encouraged to go to a place where there's a job, even if it's not a place where you were expecting to ever think about living, because what you're going to find out is that there are places out there you never even considered that might be the place that you ultimately will end up in. We've all been places in America that I would love to go back and live, and had I not had this job, I would never have been in those communities. And I grew up in New York, and I had the advantage of coming back to a very tiny little radio station in New York after college, and I didn't have to go anywhere else for a job. But I would have gone anywhere for a job. Would you?
Well, I'm sort of torn about that, actually.
Yeah, that's how I feel too.
Yeah.
So.
If it's a job that looks like it's going to get you to the place where you want to go, I think it's worth jumping.
Radio as a road into television. Does that offend you when people tell you that's why they'd like to come work in a radio station?
No, not at all. And we've hired people who we knew were on the road to television. You like to take someone, train them, and make them yours and so you can hold on to the benefit. But the reality is that if you hire good people and they get great job offers, you should celebrate that and you should be happy about that. So we've had recently a sports anchor, I was telling you guys about a sports anchor, Kevin Connors, who is now at ESPN News. And he left about 6 or 8 months ago. The guy before him, who was a sports anchor on our radio station in the afternoon, is now the sideline reporter or the field reporter for SNY, for the New York Mets, Kevin Burkhardt. And he was always a radio guy and was always considered a radio guy, and somebody gave him a shot at TV and he loves it, So no, I think the answer to the question is we are reporters, and whatever venue because we actually are radio reporters doing video, and we would never have ever considered sending a radio reporter out with that device that you're recording right now. We send our reporters out with the Minos and the flips, and we
very neat.
We have them do stand-ups for the web, and so it's a fast-changing business right now. We're reporters, and the venue where we are delivering our news is quickly changing.